Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the Darby Queen obstacle course. It's located on Fort Moore. It's pretty renowned. Um, like most people have heard of the Darby Queen. If you're in the military, you've heard of the Darby Queen. For the most part, it's not the hardest obstacle course out there, but it's definitely one of the most well-known obstacle courses, I would say. So we'll jump right into it. I think overall it's like roughly 2 miles long. I think there's 26 obstacles. It's like rolling terrain, so you're going to go up hills and down hills and stuff like that. It is located on Camp Darby in Fort Moore, which actually it's outside of Fort Moore is where Darby is, but it's neither here nor there. So it's formerly Fort Benning. If you hear me call it Fort Moore, it's because it used to be Fort Benning. Now it's Fort Moore. So the Darby Queen is located on Camp Darby. It's like the first thing you do when you get there to Camp Darby. Some people will be setting up tents. Other people are going to be setting up the Darby Queen. Then everybody does the Darby Queen. It's pretty fun. It's long. It's definitely a smoke show. Similar to Malvesi, except for, it's a longer obstacle course. So like I said, I think there's 26 obstacles. And I'm pretty sure you have to do 23 of them or something like that. I don't remember the real specifics of it, but you have to complete most of them. I think you get a minor minus for every one that you miss. So we'll jump right into it. Everybody kind of lines up right at the start point, and you're running in place. And this is something that I didn't know, I guess, is you sing cadence. So you're screaming cadence before you run the obstacle course. So the guys that are waiting to go you're singing cadence. So I didn't know any cadence, so it was kind of I had to rely on my partner, I guess, for that, because I didn't know cadence. I had forgotten it all by the time I got there. So just something to know. Maybe have a cadence or something you can fall back on. So then you'll start. You'll take off running, and there's a 6-foot wall that you jump over. And then you'll have to also forgive me if I get some of these names wrong. I completely apologize. If you know what the actual name is, leave a comment so that other people can maybe look them up and see. But I've got the rough gist of them. I know some of the names because, they're just like a standard obstacle course name. So then you'll start, you'll hit the 6-foot wall, and then you'll do the belly buster. You're basically going to climb up on a 3-4 foot tall log, and then you jump up another 4 or 5 feet, and you land with your stomach on the log, and then you flip over the log, and then there's a rope that you climb down. So you'll do that. You keep running, and then they have the reverse climb. It's like an inverted ladder. So it's like a ladder rungs, but they're back at an angle. So you climb up this way and then flip over, then you're face down, climbing down. Then you've got the horizontal ladder, which is just monkey bars. And then there's a low crawl, which is you're crawling under barbed wire, and they might, have you crawl on your stomach, then on your back and stuff like that. After the barbed wire is the high step over. And I think this is the one where you don't use hands. So it's just where you put your hands on your head and you're stepping over rungs, beams, whatever you want to. They're wooden 4x4s. They're just stepping over. They're 3.5 feet tall. So just kind of a little high step over these rungs. And then it's the vaulter or 6 vault or vaults. I don't remember what it's called. But this is where you can this one you can, just like the obstacle you did before where you're stepping over the rungs, but this time you can put your hands on the obstacle itself, and you can push yourself up and jump over. Then it's the commando crawl, I'm pretty sure. So that's where you're climbing a ladder. I can't remember how tall it is. You climb a ladder. And then there's a rope that's a 45-degree angle down to the ground. So, say the ladder's 20, 30 feet in the air or whatever. You climb up this ladder, you get on the rope, and then you commando crawl down the rope. It's at like a 45-degree angle down to the end. And then you've got, the next one is Tarzan. So that's the one where there's like these 4x4s, planks, and they like ascend in height. So you'll like walk 8 feet, and then you step up another foot, walk 8 feet, step up another foot, walk 8 feet, and then and you just like keep going up until you're, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 feet off the ground. And then there's like it's monkey bar. Sorry, I had like a aneurysm there or something. Then there's monkey bar. So you're like, keep walking these little planks until you're gradually get up higher and higher and higher. And it's not that high. You're only like 6 feet off the ground. And then there's monkey bars. And you do these monkey bars across, and you get to the end. After that is the jump to rope, swing to beam, or whatever. So you start off at like a certain line, you run up, there's a rope hanging there, you jump up, grab the rope, and you swing, and you land your feet on a beam that's like 5 feet off the ground. And then once you're like on the beam, you have to let go of the rope. If you maintain your balance on the beam, then you jump off. Then it's the tough one, which is like everybody always talks about because it's massive. So you're gonna climb. The tough one is like a 10-foot ladder climb, and then there's like 4x4 beams that you walk across, but they're not like going the same way with you. They're perpendicular to you, so you're like stepping over voids in the ground, I guess, holes. And like I said, you're 10, 15 feet in the air probably when you do that. And then there's another ladder. It's like a 20-foot tall ladder, and then you do a rope climb down. So pretty simple little obstacle. The next one is the slide for life. What the hell is that one? Oh, I think I might have mixed one up earlier. The slide for life is the ladder climb up, and then you slide down the rope. It's like a 30-foot tall ladder. The one I think I called earlier was commando crawl. I think it's the same concept, but it's just not as long. The slide for life is like long. It's like 100 feet long slide. It's a pretty long slide. Then you've got the skyscraper obstacle. So all of the Darby Queen is like an individual based event. You run it with a partner, but your partner can't help you at all, except for this one obstacle. It's the skyscraper one. It's the partner one where you've got, I think there's 3 platforms, and then you and your partner traverse it together, and you climb to the top platform, and then you climb back down the other side. And the platforms are like probably 7 feet, I'm gonna guess 6 to 7 feet, like spacing in between them. So it's kind of difficult, and the platforms get like steadily wider as you go up, so it's not like perfectly vertical, so you can't just like hop up. You can do it, people do it on their own, but it definitely helps to have a partner. After that, you move over to the balance beams. It's just a series of 3 logs that are on the ground that you just walk across. What makes this one tricky is that the logs are not stationary. They're round logs and they roll. They've probably got, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches of like space that they can roll in. So it's really not too difficult. Then you've got the high ladder climb. I think that's where the ladder is just like, it's just a really tall ladder, and they're using logs, like round logs, and then you just climb up and over. Then it's the Weaver. That one sucks, I think. It's easy, it beats you up. That's the one where I guess there's a series of 4x4s up at like a triangle, goes like up and then down, and then you're like going up, you're weaving through them, the rungs as you go. So you'll like go over one, under one, over one, under one. And they're probably 4 feet apart. It's a pretty common obstacle. Like most people don't like it, but Then the next one is the tough nut. So the tough nut is like, there's a series of obstacles that are like in the shape of an X, and then you like step over each of the X's without using your hands. Your hands are on your head. So what makes it difficult is because like it's tight. They're like, they put the things really close together. It's super tight in there. Yeah, it's just kind of a nuisance. And then you've got the step over. Gosh, I can't remember what the heck that one is. I'm thinking it's just another one of those like I talked about earlier, where you're just like high stepping over. I think it's just another one of those step over type things where the 4x4s are out and you're just stepping over them with your hands on your head. Then there's another belly crawl under barbed wire, and you're like going back down the hill on this one, and you're nearing towards the end of the obstacle. Belly crawl, and they might have you flip over and, you know, crawl on your back or whatever. Then it's a belly buster obstacle. Then it's the easy balancer, which is just like rungs in the ground. You just walk across. It's pretty simple. Then you do the island hopper, which everybody kind of sleeps on, and honestly, I think it gets more people than it should. Then you have the last obstacle, which is the cargo net climb over. It's just this like giant cargo net, like ladder thing. So you climb up and climb back down, or basically roll back down. Not too difficult, but by the time you get to the cargo net, you're trashed. You're pretty smoked, because like I said, the whole time the RIs are kind of, you know, they're still messing with you. They're smoking you. It was pretty fun. Like that one that I was talking about where the logs roll. Gosh, what the heck was that? The balance beams one. It's like in the center of the Darby Queen. You'll understand it once you run it. You know what I'm saying? It goes down this. You start and you go down this giant hill, and then you climb back up this hill, and there's like a congestion of a lot of obstacles like in that area, and that's where the balance beams are. But that obstacle, one of the RIs like had me, so I walked to the first one. He's like, oh, that seemed really way too easy for you. Try to lunge across the next one. So then I like lunged across the next one, and then he said, oh, well, you did that fine. Now I want you to do reverse lunges or walk backward and do lunges on the third one. And that was actually really hard. So but it's like fun, you know. They're kind of like messing with you. And again, just like I've said in like most of my other videos, just detach, try to enjoy it, have a good time. Unless you do like the best ranger, this is the only time you'll run the Darby Queen. It's off limits. You can't just like go run the Darby Queen whenever you want. It's off limits. Camp Darby is actually locked unless there's a class in session. So like you can't just go there and run the Darby Queen unless, I suppose the only people that do it are if you do the best ranger. Maybe you could coordinate with 4th RTBN and they would like let you in, but I doubt it. So try to enjoy it, try to detach, and try to, you know, remember what you're doing, because I know like a lot of my memories are fading, and it hasn't even been that long ago that I ran it. So anyhow, yeah, that's all I got. That's the Darby Queen. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer it. If there's any videos you guys want to see, let me know. I'll try to get to them. So anyhow, that's all I got. Have a great day, guys.